Hello. This is my second screencast, and what I decided to talk about was genetically modified tomatoes. I picked this subject because every summer my roommate has a big garden, which is just down the street, and I usually go down there and help them with that, and they usually have tomatoes. I thought it would be interesting to learn a little bit more about genetically modified tomatoes. I don't know much about them. A lot of the articles that I found had kind of the same stuff in them, so it's kind of going to be a short screencast. Okay, here we go. So genetically modified tomatoes. The first genetically modified tomato was called the Flavor Saver, and it was actually the first modified food to get market approval. This tomato was produced by the Calhoun Company in California in 1994, and the Food and Drug Administration gave it approval. Some benefits of genetically modified tomatoes. They contain antifreeze polypeptide and an antisense polygalactoronase. The antifreeze polypeptide actually decreases the chance of the tomato freezing, and then the antisense polygalactoronase helps the tomato ripen longer on the vine. The ripening longer on the vine, this is the main benefit of the genetically modified tomato versus the commercial tomato. The commercial tomato, you have to pick the tomato while it's still hard and unripe, and then it's gas ripened so that they can be shipped to the market and they're not all smushy when they get there. The genetically modified tomato ripens longer on the vine, so you can keep it on the vine longer and then ship it when it's actually ripe. This means that they can grow and produce more flavor, and they won't get soft by the time they enter the market. Some other benefits is increased flavor. Because they are on the vine longer, they get more sunlight and they actually grow bigger. Another is longer shipping time. They have a longer shipping time because they are ripe. They can go to longer places, to places farther away, and then the longer shelf life. So I thought this picture was really interesting. This is an ordinary tomato, and then this is the GMO tomato, and you can see at 10 days that they both look similar, and then at 20 days you can tell that the ordinary tomato is getting mushy and kind of gross looking, and then the modified tomato still looks really good. And then at 45 days you can really tell the difference, that the ordinary tomato cannot be sold. It looks disgusting. Nobody wants to eat that. And then at 45 days for the genetically modified tomato, it actually looks the exact same. The Flavor Saver tomato stopped production in 1997. What I found on it, it was due to harvesting equipment damaging the skin of tomatoes, and then there weren't very many varieties of the tomatoes, and they were really limited. The manufacturers didn't have access to them, and then they were sold at a high price, and I think that the general population was really skeptical about genetically modified tomatoes at that point. Another company was the DNA plant technology that they attempted to combine the tomato DNA with the Arctic flounder gene, which is a fish gene, and they wanted to produce a cold hardy tomato plant, which they were totally unsuccessful, and the tomato didn't make it to market. But I thought this was interesting because that they tried to put a fish gene into the tomato, and I thought this picture was really funny. Alright, so disadvantages. Many people were worried about how the process was achieved to get a genetically modified tomato. There are basically three processes. You can give it a shot, or you can use a gene gun to infuse the tomato. And then there's an invasive bacteria that puts the new genes into the tomato cells, and people were skeptical because mutation can occur to the tomato. These are some pictures. On the left is the tomato actually getting a shot, and then on the right is a gene gun, which I thought this was pretty interesting looking. Another disadvantage is antibiotic resistance. The first tomatoes genetically modified had a resistance to antibiotic, which was kanamycin. People were afraid if this gene came from the tomato and entered bacteria that it would cause resistance to the antibiotic. Where can I get GMO tomatoes? This was really hard for me to find. I couldn't really find anything where I could get them or if they're still produced. It was mainly just about the Flavor Saver tomato and back when they first started. So genetically modified tomatoes may be making a comeback. I read an article, which is down here at the bottom, that they are trying to get, or they have found a tomato that's genetically modified to have a peptide that mimics HDL cholesterol, and this peptide will reduce heart disease, and they're working on that in some way. I only found one article about it, and I thought it was interesting and would like to kind of learn more about that. So they may be making a comeback. I haven't found where you can buy them, but okay, so citations. These are my citations. I put each citation where I found my information at the bottom of the slide, and then I numbered them so that's easily found, and then I cited my pictures as well. I really enjoyed looking up the GMO tomatoes. I wish that I found a little bit more information, but I'm excited to see you guys' screencasts, and I hope you enjoyed mine. Thank you.